Congratulations, you've decided to buy a home. That's great. Buying a house is like the American dream. Most people hope to own a home someday, and with good reason. The average homeowner has 40 times the household wealth of the average renter. But how does it all work? This will probably be the most money you have ever spent in your life, and one mistake can cost you literally thousands of dollars. So where do you start? That is exactly the question that we're going to answer here today at Homebuyer University. I'm Chris McCarran, a real estate agent, an author, and a real estate investor in Boston, Massachusetts. I have helped many, many first-time homebuyers just like you to successfully and fairly stress-freely buy a house. And my track record for bringing and keeping buyers and sellers together is one of the best in the area, even in the crazy market that we're in right now. And in this unique course, I'm going to share with you my secrets. Before we get started, I want to talk to you about this idea of buying a house at the right time. People often get stressed about the thought that they're buying a house at the top of the market. They have an idea that they should wait for costs to go down, and the next thing you know, 2 years have gone by and prices are actually higher than they were before, which makes the whole concept even more stressful. Let me tell you honestly, if you're buying a house to live in, stop thinking of it as a potential profit. Try to think of it as you're joining a club that has really high dues, but even higher rewards. Unless you're buying a house to fix up and sell right away, also called a flip, you should really be more concerned and more diligent about your monthly expenses, how much this home is going to cost you every month. Because one of the things that actually helps home prices to come down is rising interest rates. And that is the number one thing that's going to impact the cost of your monthly payment for your home. Just as an example, let's say that you bought a house for $100,000 and the interest rate was at 10%. And don't laugh, because my first house was 13% interest, and that was down from 18%. So the idea of 10% interest is not out of the question. So you bought a $100,000 house at 10% interest, your monthly payment is going to be roughly $1,000. Now, fast forward sometime in the future, and now interest rates are 5%. For that same $1,000 a month, you can now afford a $200,000 house. So, if you wait for prices to come down because interest rates went up, you might actually be in worse shape. You might say, but Chris, if I take your advice and buy when the market is high, couldn't I be paying too much for the house? Well, first of all, good luck finding a quorum of experts who agree on which direction the market is going. But let's say it's true. Let's say you bought at the absolute top of the market, and the very next day the prices started going down. Well, let's say 5 years later, your house has dropped 5% in value, and you need to sell it, which maybe you don't need to, but that's a conversation for another day. But let's say you have to sell it. You're going to lose 5% on that house, but the next house you buy is going to be discounted by 5%. And if you're moving up to a bigger house, you're actually in better shape because you're saving more than you quote unquote lost on your other house. It's the same, remember, if the market's going up. So you might say, oh wow, I made 10% on my house. But guess what? You sell that house and take your profit to the next house where you're going to pay a 10% premium. So just remember that you have options, and that in most cases, in almost all cases, it's better to own a home than to not own one. So what should you expect from this course? The course is broken up into 12 video modules, and they're each between 15 and 30 minutes. And they correspond to the various steps that you'll be taking on your path to home ownership. Some of them are also going to have homework, and that homework will get you ready for the next step. In the first module, we'll set some goals. It's really best to do this before you start getting inside houses and falling in love with them and your emotions get all out of control. And also, if you're buying a house with someone else, it's a great idea for you to get your goals and their goals down on paper so you can see whether there's going to be some negotiation required if you're going to live in the same place. In Module 2, we'll tackle your credit. The higher your credit, the lower interest rate you'll pay on your mortgage and the more that you'll be allowed to borrow. After your credit's in good shape, we'll set a budget in Module 3 and get you pre-approved so you know how much house you can realistically and comfortably afford to buy. We'll also help you to talk through how to find a great loan officer, unless, of course, you're going to buy the home with cash. At this point, we'll have all the information we need to figure out where you should start to search and what parameters you should use, and you can actually start to cyber stalk some homes in Module 4. Will you need a real estate agent to help you with your search? If so, how do you find a great one, and how do you know that they're going to mesh with your personality and your goals? That is what Module 5 is all about. You are finally ready to start going to open houses. So what should you be looking for? How should you act? What should you say or not say to the agent who's conducting the open house? All this will be covered in Module 6. It's happened, your hard work has paid off, and you have finally found a house that's amazing and feels like the one. Now what? In Module 7, we will walk you through how to let the seller of that great house know that you're interested, how much you should offer to pay for it, and also what contingencies are, how they can protect you, and what should be included in the offer document. Now, in a hot seller's market, you might be competing with other buyers who are interested in the same home. How can you differentiate yourself, and what should your agent be doing to help you? Module 8 to the rescue to answer these questions and more. Okay, congratulations, your offer was accepted and you have the chance to buy the house. If you have made the results of a home inspection a condition of the purchase, how does that all work? How can you choose a great home inspector? What questions should you ask him or her? And what do you do with the mountain of information that you're going to get from the home inspection? That's all covered in Module 9. Okay, you found some problems at the home inspection. You still really want to buy the house, but you'd be a lot happier if some of these problems were addressed. What can you do? We'll talk about that in Module 10. So what is an appraisal and how does it impact you? In Module 11, we go into detail about the appraisal process, potential problems that can arise and how to handle them, and what's going to be going on with your loan between now and when you actually get the keys to your house. Next, everything has come together magically and soon the house will be yours. What do you need to do to prepare for the big day? In Module 12, you'll learn all this, plus you'll get prepared for the actual day, what's going to happen at the actual closing table, what happens after you get the keys, things that you should do right away once you're the owner of the house. I am so excited to share this journey with you. I know it sounds like a lot, and you might be able to skip some modules if some of them don't apply to you, but even though this is an online course, I will be with you every step of the way to answer your questions and to give you support. You'll also have the opportunity to join monthly mastermind meetings where you can chat with other folks who are in your same situation, brainstorm, get support, and share tips with each other. Congratulations on taking this huge step. I'm really psyched to be doing it with you.